Now, explain this picture.
This was taken at the Lyndon B. Johnson Space Museum in Houston, Texas, the NASA Museum, in, I think, about 1987. But this was an ambition realised. I consider myself, the timing of my birth, I think I'm really lucky, Martin, because what could have been a more exciting background against which to grow up and become aware of the world as the one that I had, which dominated childhood and dominated the news in those days, which was, you know, following Kennedy's 1960 assertion to put a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the end of the decade, to suddenly have that Cold War race to get to the moon. And it was so exciting. It was so exciting. And those are the engines of a Saturn V rocket. And of course, all that dramatic stuff between 68 and 69, the most dramatic thing of all was man leaving this Earth and setting foot on another planet. And to have been a kid, to have been 9 years old and been aware of that and stayed up all night and watched it on the television, I think, unavoidably, it gave you a sense of adventure, this was man's greatest adventure since Columbus had disappeared over the horizon, of endeavour, of possibility, of being unstoppable, if you like, and also courage. God, they were brave, those guys. When you get to the museum there, it's still there. You come along this winding lane, and there are trees on all sides obscuring this, then suddenly it opens up, and lying down on the lawn is a Saturn V that they never used, and they're 364 feet long, and those engines are towering about 30 feet above me. And the only bit that was actually occupied by human beings was like the last 5 feet at the top. The rest of it was fuel and engines. It was basically a skyscraper bomb of liquid oxygen and paraffin, and it produced the most, it left, in order to escape the Earth's atmosphere, it was leaving the Earth's atmosphere at 24,000 miles an hour. I mean, it blows my mind now. Never mind when I was 9 years old. They were so brave, you know, all that tower of fuel, and then they stood it upright and lit the bugger up, and rode it at that speed to the moon.
But as well as a time of sort of momentous social